On January 26, 1972, a plane exploded in the skies over Czechoslovakia. Everyone on board was killed instantly. Everyone except one woman, a flight attendant who somehow survived a free fall from 33,000 feet, nearly 10 kilometers, without a parachute. This is the unbelievable true story of Vesna Vulović, the woman who should have died but didn't. Vesna was just 22 years old, a young Serbian flight attendant for JAT Yugoslav Airlines. She loved her job, the travel, and the freedom of the skies. On January 26th, she was assigned to Flight 367, a routine journey from Stockholm to Belgrade with stops along the way. But here's the chilling twist. Vesna was never supposed to be on that flight. A scheduling mix-up placed her on Flight 367 by mistake, a twist of fate that would change her life forever. At 4:01 p.m., as the plane flew high over the mountains of Czechoslovakia, disaster struck. A bomb hidden inside the luggage compartment suddenly exploded. The blast tore through the aircraft, ripping it into pieces mid-air. Passengers and crew were thrown into the freezing sky. For most, death was instant, but Vesna, strapped to a food cart in the rear of the aircraft, plummeted from 33,000 feet. Think about this for a second. If you fall from the roof of a 2-story house, maybe 20 feet high, your chances of survival are already very slim. Bones shatter, internal injuries happen instantly. Now imagine falling not 20 feet, not 200 feet, but over 33,000 feet. That's higher than Mount Everest, and it's not just unlikely to survive, it's practically impossible. If falling from just 20 feet, say the roof of your house, can be deadly, then imagine multiplying that fall by over 1,600 times. Because that's what 33,000 feet really means. A height so extreme, it's almost beyond imagination. The next time you're on a plane, look out the window when the captain announces cruising altitude, around 30 to 35,000 feet. From up there, cars look like toys, cities look like tiny dots, and the clouds are below you. That's the distance Vesna fell. No parachute, no protection, just free fall through freezing air. Think about it, that's higher than Mount Everest, falling at over 200 kilometers per hour. No parachute, no hope. And yet, she lived. So how is survival even possible? Experts believe a series of lucky accidents saved her life. First, the section of the plane she was trapped in landed on a snow-covered forested slope. The snow softened the impact. The trees broke her fall, and the food cart acted as a shield, keeping her pinned and alive. Even so, her injuries were catastrophic. She suffered a fractured skull, broken legs, broken vertebrae, and slipped into a coma for days. But somehow, against all odds, her heart kept beating. Local villagers found Vesna unconscious in the wreckage, surrounded by the bodies of everyone else. They rushed her to the hospital, where doctors were stunned she was still alive. When she finally awoke, she had no memory of the explosion. The last thing she remembered was greeting passengers before takeoff. She spent months in recovery, undergoing multiple surgeries. Within 10 months, she not only survived, she returned to her job as a flight attendant. Yes, after falling 33,000 feet, Vesna still chose to fly. Her survival became an international sensation. She was recognized by the Guinness World Records as the person who survived the highest fall without a parachute. The record still stands today, but Vesna never saw herself as a hero. She often said, "I just got lucky, the others didn't." Her story is both inspiring and heartbreaking, because while she lived, 27 others on that flight did not. Vesna Vulovic's life is a reminder of the unpredictability of fate. A scheduling mistake put her on that flight. A bomb tore it apart, and a miracle allowed her to live when no one else did. Sometimes survival isn't about strength or skill, it's about chance, and Vesna's story remains one of the most extraordinary examples of human survival in history. But what's the moral of the story? If someone can survive falling from the sky, then surely we can survive the falls life throws at us. Vesna's story isn't just about beating death, it's about reminding us that every new day is proof we're stronger than our struggles. No matter how hard life pushes us down, we all have the strength to rise again. Her survival was called a miracle, but maybe it's also a message for us. A message that as long as we're alive, we still have a chance to write our story.
Thank you for watching. If this video didn't waste your valuable time or added any value to your life, even just a little, please consider subscribing to Hello Stories. Until next time, goodbye, warriors.